Okay, this video is a request on how I was able to solve the Eggshell Lab on ECOWAS Hackathon. During ECOWAS Hackathon, how I was able to solve the lab. So in that Eggshell Lab, during ECOWAS Hackathon, it has two domain controllers machine, which is SRV and which is SRV with sec.local, secjo.local as the domain name, and court with court.local as domain name. So in this situation, I'm going to replicate it using my home lab, because the lab has been taken off by, before I could do this video, the lab has been taken off by ECOWAS, by sec.jo in my dashboard. So I would have used it, but since it has been taken off, so I need to use my home lab. My home lab contains two domain controllers and two Windows 10 machine, two domain controllers with Windows 322 server, and two domain controllers and two machines with Windows 10. Now, before we can do any penetration testing or CTF, the first thing I'm going to do is to do enumeration. Now, the first enumeration I did was is to do nmap. This is my nmap. Now in this situation, the first machine is going to be presented by mother.local in my domain. The first machine in ECOWAS will be presented with mother.local, while the second machine, which is court.local in ECOWAS, will be presented with my machine red ghost. So this is my basic nmap scan. So this is scan results. I save this scan result. Now this is scan result. It has the domain name as court.local and what have you. So from this nmap is going to give you the quick wins. The quick wins. What do I mean by the way I'm going to attack the machine? So I tried many things, both IPv6, SMB relay, many things. It couldn't work. So now what I tried is what I call it zero logon. Zero logon is a situation whereby it will change the administrative password to 0. It's an exploit that changes administrative password to 0. So we can now use secret dump, provided we know the username, the domain, provided we know the domain name. We can now secret dump it with the 0 password, since the password has been changed to 0 using 0 logon. So that's what I did here. Now we have I did Python 0logon checker.py. When I did it, it checked whether there is 0 logon vulnerability on the first machine, which is secjo.local. So that's what I did. Now after doing it, and I saw that it worked, and I run the script which changed it to 0, the password to 0. Now secret dump it with this command. Since it does have it, that's why we didn't put password. We use this to escape, to escape this $sign. So there's no password. Once we did it, it dumped the hash. So with this hash, I'm going to use psexec to log into the machine. So this has been done already. So I'm just saying how I log into the machine. Now once I log into the machine, I now check whether there is the domain trust that exists between them. What is domain trust? Domain trust is a situation whereby the two domain controllers trust themselves in the way they can exchange files and resources together. They trust themselves. So you can request files from this domain, you can request resources from this domain. So we need to leverage on that. So now what I did was, once I log in, look at where I logged into my. So this machine, assume this machine to be the first machine, which is secjo.local. Assume it to be this machine, this particular machine. So I assume this one to be this machine, which is secjo.local, lab.secdojo.local. So that's what I assume it. Now once we log in to it using psexec, because we have dumped it. Now my PSSX I use password. In PSSX you can use both hash or password since we have dumped it. So I assume, so this place for password I put hash. So and now you can crack the hash or you use the hash to log in. So once I logged in, I change who am I, and I said I'm authority system, so I can do many things. The host then is secdojo.local. Here is Hydra, so just in your mind know is secdojo.local. Now I need to switch to PowerShell so that I can be able to run some various commands that I cannot run with CMD. So I now change to PowerShell, and I did NL tests.domain trust. So I need to know whether there is a domain trust that exists between the secdojo.local and the cut.local. Now I'm going to show you the screenshot I took to buttress my point. Now I saw that secdojo.local has an inbound. The cut.local has an inbound and outbound with malware.local. That means they can exchange both. It can accept and it can release. When it can accept and it can release resources, when I saw that, so and I said, okay, I need to get users since I'm a secdojo.local and there is a trust between both of us with cut.local. That means I can request resources. They are okay thereby. So and I say get users and I request for users from secdojo.local. When I look for users, this was returned in that process. So once this thing was returned, I said okay, so I needed to use my Rebus program. That's what one program we called Rebus. That program, we use that program to get a ticket granting service from domain controller. Now, but I needed to make a directory so I can be able to run the program. And I said, this thing is optional. You can make directory or you cannot make it. So what I did in case the program dumps something, so I can be able to easily locate it. So I now make directory mkdr hack folder dark folder, and now move to the directory which is mkdr, and now move to the directory. Once I move to the directory, I now need to run the program. So, but before I run the program, I need to download the program from here. So the program is my attacker's machine. See my attacker's machine in the desktop transfer folder. So these all the things I'm using to run. I used to send it to this place. If you check Control C, if you do ls, you see some of the programs I'm using, both Mimikatz and the Pincasto, Rebus, WinPeace, Limpeace, many things I'm using to run here. So in this my transfer folder, and now run this server, Python server, so I can be able to, so this place will serve as a server, this particular location. And I do Python 3-m http.server8 it will serve as a server. Now from here, once I run this in all this place, all these files inside this location can be downloaded from another server. So once I did it and I came to this place, now use a statutl. This is for Windows. When you want to download, you can also use curl, curl. Curl, you not copy the link. Curl this part, you not curl this thing, this particular thing, or use statutl. So most of the time statutl works, but when there is no stat, you can try curl. So another statutl URL catch spirit-f. The file I need is this particular file on this location, and this is the name of the file I need. The file, see the location I wanted to drop it. So now drop the file on this location. You can see statutl catch computer. When I did ls, I can do ls because I'm using PowerShell. As you can see, when I switch to PowerShell, it changed to ps. So when I did the ls, what I saw here, I saw that it is already here, rebus.ex. So I need to run the file, and I said dot. You can remove this dot, but this thing shows that in the current location, run this file in this current location. You can also remove this thing. So I now say this thing, Kubernetes. I'm requesting for Kubernetes from the user SQL service, domain, whatever, and out file. Now I made a mistake from here. That's why you see error. What I'm requesting is this user, and the user is from this place. the user should be getting from this SAM account name. As you can see, these are various accounts. So the SAM account name should be SQL service, not SQ space service. So when I run it, I receive an error. So when I run it SQL, I receive an error. As you can see, the error. So I was trying it until I now realized my mistake. So I will need to show my mistake. So and I realized my mistake, and I ran it well. This thing, and I said output the file to this current location. So I tried to write this file, the TGS to a file. It failed. I tried everything, it's not working, because probably we don't have right access to this location. That's why it's very important, very important to move your to if you want to attack your this victim, it should be in temp folder. Temp folder has a lot of privileges. So I tried it in this location. This system32 is not working. Tried everything, couldn't write to a file. Use the various mechanism, no way. So the last option for me is to dump the file on the screen, so I can copy directly and do some manipulation with it. Now see what I did to this particular location. I said remember, before you do this one, once I get share here, you can get the first flag, which is 30 minutes, which is 30 max. So from the first flag, what I'm doing now is trying to get the second flag. So that should be in your mind. So what you're looking for is second flag. The first flag has been solved already. So that's the main problem is the second flag. The first flag is very easy. Second flag is the problem. So that's the second flag. We are leveraging on the domain trust. Now we try this, and the thing dumped the TGS, like Kubernetes tickets granting server. This is what, as you can see it, KRBT, so whatever. So I now copy this file. Once you copy this thing, if you copy this thing and paste it, if you copy this and paste it, you see that let me show what I mean. If you copy it and paste, see that this has a lot of space. So if you run this thing with this space, and if you say you want to edit this space manually, it's going to take a lot of time. So as a pen tester, you want to maximize your time. So what I did is to remove these spaces with a program. Now the program I tried to use CyberChef, because I used CyberChef before to do these things, but I couldn't get it. As you can see here, look at CyberChef. I tried it, trying to remove spaces, and it couldn't work. Did everything, couldn't work. Now, and I go. What I go is white space remover. When I go white space remover, I click on various tab. It opened this tab. So I pasted it here. Remove white space, or use this place. Copy it and save it to a file. You can name the name of the file is TGS, which is I just name it TGS, which is ticket granting server. You can call it .txt or .tgs. So that's what I did. Now see where it's written. So see, I now from here, okay, and now save the file .tgs. Once I save the file .tgs, as you can see, okay, like okay, this is my transfer folder. Now mousepad, you can use mousepad or nano to name the file. I said where it goes, so I can be able to identify this is the second, which is cut.local. This is the second machine, which is cut.local. So I now did where it goes TGS, mousepad, and I pasted the file and save it. So I need to, this is Kubernetes with hashcat. I want to crack this Kubernetes with hashcat. So what do? I now said hashcat.help, which is help, is going to output it and pipe it to a grep, which is going to use a case insensitive, which is case insensitive, and the regular expression. This we need is case insensitive and expression. I think regular expression. I'm looking for Kubernetes TGS. That's the keyword, Kubernetes TGS. So this is what the hashcat command gave me. I need to, because if you do hashcat, it's going to give you a whole lot of things. So it will be difficult for us to locate. So we need this thing to grep for this particular keyword. So the one I use is 13,100. This is the one that we are going to use. TGS rep, blah, blah, blah. This 13,100. This is the mode we are going to use. So once I got it, what I did is to use hashcards on my Windows with rules. But what I'm telling you, once you have this thing, first thing you're going to do is run this thing without rules. If you run this thing without rules, if it does not work, you try it with rules. So I tried it here and now my system was freezing because hashcard consumes a lot of resources. So I now still let me do it on bare metal. Bare metal is better, which is my host operating system. So now I came to my host operating system. This is my host operating system. And now save the file in my host operating system. Let me show what I mean. Look at these hashcards. It's in my host in my folder. I saved it here. So once I save it here, it's being saved in this current folder. Let me show you this file. So once you open this thing, the file is saved as TGS. As you can read goes.tgs. You can also save it .txt. This is some Kubernetes I'm trying to crack. So you can save it. You can also save it .txt. But this is just to know that, so that for me to know that it's a ticket granting service file. So once I save it here, and I come to my operating system, my host operating system. So I now, as you can see, I now move to the location cd to hashcard to this is the hashcard location. Now run this file hashcard.exe dash mode. That mode we found, which is 13,100 dash a. The attacking mode that is using is 0. So this is my location of my file, which is TGS, and the location of the word list, which is rocky.txt. Status. I want the status to be popping up every 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds it will pop up and give me feedback. So you can put optimize, but once you use optimize, as you can see, optimize it only works for shorter password, but once the password is long, it's not going to work. So you can first run with no optimize, no rules first. If you couldn't get it, optimize with no rules. If you couldn't get it, but optimize only works with pure kernel, which is your host operating system. If you couldn't, now do optimize and regular expression and rules. Sorry. So once I ran it with no optimize. There's no dash O, capital O, because that's what we normally use when you are doing it with on your host operating system. But it has a limitation. It doesn't crack a long password. So now I remove dash O and run this thing. So it's ran. This is the output every 30 seconds. As I say, status, give me update every 30 seconds doing hashcard cracking. So it was running. It now came to a place and said running. Now say cracked. As you can see, cracked. So the password is, my password is 123 hash. So if you couldn't see it, you can also do this. As you can see, my password. This is the password. If you couldn't see it, you can also run with this particular. You can do hashcard status timer 10 seconds dash show. It will show you the password. As you can see, once you say this, show this password, it's going to be saved on your port file, hashcard port file. Now once you crack it, you can also use this password to secret dump, maybe, and go to another user. Maybe you are targeting a particular user, so you can secret dump this particular domain controller in this place. This respect is called court.local, but in my home lab it is called red ghost. So you can use this password to secret dump it. Or remember, this is not NTM hash, this is a TGS hash. If it's NTM hash, you would have logged them directly, but it's not NTM hash. So once we do it, once you crack it, and now get to this location, and I say I needed to, and now try to use PSExec to log in with this password. PSExec. Let me turn on the machine and log in, so you see what I'm talking about. I turn on the machine, red ghost machine. This is my red ghost machine. I told you that my machine has Hydra and red ghost. So this is Hydra, this is red ghost. So I need to let me turn on the machine. I have 2 domain controllers in my home lab and 2 machines, which are Spider-Man and Punisher. These 2 machines, my home lab. Other ones is joined, but it's not joined to this domain control Active Directory. So it has on. I think it has on. We can let me make this thing bigger. We can ping it to know if we can ping to it. Let's try and make sure the machine is alive. Okay, we can ping, so that means the machine is alive. So let's run the command. So psexec redghost.local, this is the domain slash the user, the SAM account username, SAM account name, something like that. With the SAM account name, we now put the password at this particular IP. So once you click enter, are you seeing we have now log into court.local. In this respect is red ghost. So once you log in, you can do who am I. Yeah, it's going to tell you authority system. If you do host name, it's going to give you redghost.dc. So you can now cd to that particular location. That location they want us to cd. That I think is on desktop location. You can now cd to it. Before I start showing the screenshots of the actual machine I took during the ECOWAS Hackathon, let me show you a tool I recently found that this is called Swiss Army tool. It's a very powerful tool. If you have known LinPeace and WinPeace, this is how it works. So this is a linwinpon.sh. This is the target. I'm targeting this domain controller. This particular domain controller. You can do the auto without username and password and some other parameters. So I just did auto. Notice that this is just a basic enumeration. So this is what it gave me out. The things it listed out. Some of them are very useful. So you can look at this to explore it with me. Just work like LinPeace. So it's a very powerful tool. Guys, as you can see, it's Puller service enabled. You can use this to do the pass. You can use this to carry out one attack with printer spooler. I've forgotten the name of the attack. Now, this is what it gave me without the password. And now or hash. Now I run it with username and hash. It is going to give me more details than without username and hash. So look at the details it gave me. As you can see, this is SID of the domain. So this is a very powerful tool. SID of the domain. Sorry. Gave me domain SID. He did a bloodhound because I put it to a file Collins enum output with auto. So it's going to dump all these things to that file. This is the bloodhound. This bloodhound, it helps you to know the low hanging fruits, which are the domain admins. It's going to help you to know domain admins and how you're going to get there. It's a very powerful tool, bloodhound or LDAP domain dump. So you're going to do GPP, which is group policy group policy. Is for older systems. It's going to help you and get the passwords there. It's for older systems in XML files. Group policy. So it's going to do a basic enumeration. Users enumeration. Even some places you store passwords. Certify enumeration. This is certificate that helps in authentication. How long it's going to last, validity period, how old it is. So if you have worked with LinPeace, it should be easy win for you. So that is it. I'm just scrolling fast. ADD, that means Active Directory Certificate Services, is going to list it for you. ESC7 vulnerability potentially found. Are you seeing it? So you can Google this thing. You know what is ESC7 vulnerability? So you can Google it. ADC is found. So you can Google this ESC17 and know what it's all about. Skipping. Can do this. Packet authentication errors. TGT, pack size, whatever. For this is a red ghost hack me. If you put a file here, it can bring out a file. This is a something I created in the share SMB share of the red ghost. So it's going to output it if something is there. I love this too. It's very powerful too. So that's what I want to show you is the vulnerability check. It's going to do the vulnerability check for you. Check for zero logon, check for MS17, check for petit potam, check. Do the first. I've not even checked all these things. So it's going to do the check. Anyone you found, like this one said petit potam check. Yeah, you can copy this link and read about it. Look at the file I'm going to use to exploit this vulnerability. So it's going to the vulnerability. They said the target is probably part. That's why the zero logon could not work here. So other checks, going to do other checks like DF ECOWAS. You can check. You can read about it if your machine is vulnerable. So that is it. It's a very powerful tool. So you can add it to your arsenal. So these are what able to solve the Eggshell machine. So now let me show you the screenshots of the actual exploits. I took a screenshot and it's saved in my file, in my notes. Now this is a domain controller, TGS, which is ticket granting service. So this is the domain controller, this is the victim or user, this is the application server. So before any user can request a file from application server, you need to have your TGS. So that's what we are trying to abuse. Look at the goal of Kubernetes is to get the TGS and decrypt the server's account hash. That is the goal. Get the TGS, ticket granting service, as you can see, ticket granting service or service ticket. Get it and decrypt the server's account hash. So now the victim is going to, before you request anything from application server, you are going to present your TGS. That is the M. Now, how do you get your TGS? You want to request for TGT. That's the first you are going to request. The first arrow, this from number 1. What we care is number 1 to 4. That's what we care about. Now, once you request for TGT, the server, the domain controller will said, I need your NTM hash. Now you now said, okay, use my NTM hash, give me TGT. It will not give you TGT. Now you need the TGS. You present the TGT and they will give you TGS. That's the TGS you're going to use to access resources on application server, so that to verify who you are. This is to verify trust. So that once you have the TGS, you are in control of the domain controller. You are now in control. You have access to every other users in the domain controller. So this domain controller serves as key distribution service, KDC. That's what it serves as. So this terminology is ticket granting ticket, that's TGT, TGS, ticket granting service or service ticket, TGT, ticket encrypted with Kubernetes ticket granting hash. So let me show you the screenshots of the actual attack. Okay, welcome back. This is what I took during the hackathon program. So look what I did. I said in the ECOWAS hackathon notes, attacking active directories with 2 domain controllers. This is based on, this is the lab, lab.secdojo.local, blah blah blah, Eggshell Lab with following details. Now the computer name, this is the computer name. So they just keep all these things. This is the computer name, the DNS, domain name, and the IP. Now to get it code this via SRV, that means we're going to get it. We use the login to dump the hash. So we dump the hash as I explained before. Now I use PSZEC with administrator hash. Once I use the zero login, it's going to dump the hash. So I use the hash of administrator. And now switch to PowerShell. Do the NL test domain trust. Domain trust. You can see it here. NL test domain trust. You say that the command is completed successfully. So as we can see, the court.local domain has direct inbound trust with lab.secdojo.local. So let's enumerate the users in the court.local domain. So we now need to enumerate the users, which is get add user filter. This is what I did in my home lab, as I explained my home lab. So once you get the users, look at the users. We have administrator and we have the service account. We don't need the administrator. What we need is the service account that will give us the TGS. That's what we need. Now service account, which is found in main SVC as SAM account, as you can see, is in SAM account. SAM account is main CVC. Now we do Python 3, whatever we did. So look at the hash that was gotten from that main SVC in that court.local. This is the hash. This is the hash. So I now copy this hash, remove everything, do the hash cards, crack it. Here I crack it in my Kali Linux, but it's advised to crack it in your host, which is more faster. When I did it now, it was freezing my system, but in your host it's a way more faster. So the hash was cracked. So you can now use this and log in, and you can now go to users administrator desktop prove that TS. You now cut it out. This type means cats in Linux. In Windows it's called type. Once you do this, it's going to output the test, the flag on your screen to print it on your screen. So if you want to read more about hashcat rules, go to this place. So once you try it and it doesn't work, you can now try hashcat rules. Thank you and have a nice day.